I've got one that can see.
Logic Before Authority.
Hi guys, this is Daniel Alexander Cannon here on Logic Before Authority. And I'm already going to have to start apologizing for my voice. I feel fine, and I have a very good immune system. I haven't had a cold or been sick in a decade. And other than my voice sounding funny, I'm not sick. Okay? I know it's been going on for a couple of weeks, and it's a lot of people around like that. Sound like horses, but anyways, that's not what we're here for. We're here to talk about the Denver, Colorado fire. We're going to look at a few things. Okay, let's establish a couple of things. Let's establish this. Okay? Says estimated 6,000 acre blaze. Says they originally had thought that it was sparked by downed power lines between two separate fires at 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. So remember those times. 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. is when they're saying the fire started. On New Year's Eve. On Thursday, an estimated 500 plus homes are believed to be destroyed. However, as of 1 p.m. on Friday, Xcel Energy has inspected all of its power lines in the ignition area and found no down power lines. Okay, now also remember that they said they had how fast of winds? 110, 115, 120 they talking, right? Okay. Anybody who's ever experienced those kinds of winds, those kinds of numbers, there won't be any electricity, okay, because all the power lines will be down everywhere. Once you hit 100 miles an hour, the trees start coming down everywhere, and they take down all the power lines if the wind don't get them themselves by blowing the poles down. Okay, anything up above 90 does that. I've lived in Hurricane Alley in South Carolina a large portion of my life, and I've experienced firsthand hurricanes many times, and this is how it goes down. Even if you get a large thunderstorm with 60 to 70 mile an hour winds, what does it do? It blows down trees and it tears down the power lines. But these guys don't have any power lines down. Okay. So now let's look over here. What we're looking at here is Zoom Earth. It's zoom.earth or zoomearth.com, something like that. And it's an excellent tool, although I don't like their ads they got going here on the desktop, but they have if you pull it up on your cell phone, you don't have to deal with the ads. Now, here we are on December 30th, the day before the fire at 2 a.m. in the morning, okay? And this indicator right here, see it says heat? And there's another one right there. That's the two fires that they're talking about. But it's dark out still, so it's sensing heat, but I don't see any smoke coming up related to this yet. But it's sensing heat. Why? The temperatures outside right now are down below freezing, okay? Because a snowstorm is moving in, okay? And this also happens to be Denver, the mile-high city. Okay, they get a lot of snow. So here we are at 4 a.m. in the morning, and this may be off by 2 hours because I'm 2 hours off of them, okay? But we'll be able to see where we're at here in a second, even more so. So we're still dark, and it's still sensing the fire. I can turn it off and on over here. Okay. Sensing the two fires the night before New Year's Eve, which is the day the fire started. Okay, we're continuing forward. Still sensing them. See here. Way into the night before, the satellite that produces this imagery was saying there was heat. Well, why is that? Okay, here is first thing in the morning. It's 10, it'd be about, there would be about, for the sun to rise, probably about 7:30 or something like that. But I'm at 10:30 here, so if we went back a couple hours, 7:30, so that would make about sense. So at I'm going to stick with going by these numbers for the moment. Now they said the fire started at 10. Okay. We can start seeing evidence of smoke or something right here. But then it dissipates and it goes away. Okay. This is on, we just keep stepping forward here. And here comes the smoke now. And then it gets dark. So what I'm seeing is that the timelines are not matching up. The story's not matching up. And let me zoom this in a little bit more so you can see a little bit better. So if I step backwards into the night, you can see the red dot is there. See? See, there's all a bunch of individual little dots. Like all of the houses are being heated. Nah. That's a theory of some conspiracy going on. Someone's got a theory of some conspiracy. And that doesn't happen in this world. There are no conspiracies. And there are no theories. There are only facts. And there are only things that really happen. And there are no conspiracies. No one's plotting anything. Right. See all the individual little spots? Those are all marked heat spots. Quite strange. Quite strange. So you got one south of Boulder, and then you got this one up here north of Boulder as well. That was showing up. You can see it right there. So, two different ones, probably half a mile apart, maybe a mile apart. How you reckon that happened? How you reckon these happened? Fire ended up burning all of this area, all the way around the back side of the lake here, around Marshall Lake. It burned back in here and stuff too, but where it really got down was in the neighborhoods. Like this neighborhood right here, it's all wiped out. If I step forward and zoom out, or go forward in time, let's see if this changes much. Okay, you can see the fires happening at this point. See, of course there is, or at least it appears to be based on we can see smoke and condensation on the radar. But why is it sensing all of this heat? And there was no smoke for hours before it happened. I know, just like everything else, it's just a glitch in the software. Right? Just a glitch. All right. If we look at this other system, this is College of DuPage. Okay. So you can see that little right here in the center of the screen. This is right before or right after sunrise. And if you're looking right in here, you can kind of already see around sunrise there's something going on right here. Which, according to the narrative, this shouldn't be the case. But then all of a sudden there's a little puff right here. But supposedly there's still no fire. It ain't 10 a.m. yet. And then if we move forward, these are moving forward at 30-minute increments. So from here to here is 30 minutes. To here, to here, to here. Oop, another little spark of, excuse me. I messed my screen up. Hold on a second. Okay, here we go again. So, there's that puff, and then kind of everything kind of is backing off, while the other website's saying there's still heat. And then another little puff pops up here in a second. Or actually, it's more like an hour later. So you can see right here, you can see it start to rise right in here. And you can see the other puffs that were popping around there. You know, right where the fire was not supposed to be yet. And then it burns on into the night. You can see the red glow through the night while it's snowing, because the snowstorm moved in right after this. I'm sure most of you guys know that you cannot trust the narrative. If you're new to my channel, you might not know that, but you cannot trust the narrative of what they say, because they like to lie too much. And there's a war going on. It's an invisible war with an invisible enemy. Actually, the enemy's not invisible. They just hide behind lies. So we got winds of 100 and something miles an hour, but no downed trees. When you go searching through all the images, you won't find any trees down. Like I ran this search trees down in Colorado, and I narrowed it down to the last 24 hours. And somebody should be sharing pictures of all the trees that got blowed down in the hurricane force winds. Category 2, Category 3 hurricane. Yeah. Those type winds. But why didn't all the trees blow down? Why don't we have pictures of them that we can pull up and find? I mean, I can find all kinds of other pictures of the fire with the plume going up. And that don't look like 100 mile an hour winds coming through that plume. Here's the guy putting out the fire in the snowstorm. This is not how normal things work, guys. It does not function like this. See all these areas here? They're all areas that burnt. Different areas that burnt and burned up all the houses and stuff. And I think it was even worse than this, but there is a actual, I see what this is. This is the map showing what you're seeing in this image here. The different areas burning separately from each other. Just like we seen when we were looking at the hot spots on this other thing over here when we zoomed in on it. This one, actually. Right here. There's all your little hot spots. And there's all your burned down hotspot areas. This isn't how things work. And I know I've made a ton of videos on these subjects, more focused on California, but I just want to make a quick video on this. Try to get some people to critically think. Here's your fire here, fire over here. What looks like a third fire down yonder. But if you turn on your television, they tell you everything is just, of course, this is climate change. This is a photo from an airplane. And you can see down how the fire is spotty around different areas. And the lights are still on where the fires are at. Looks like, anyways, for the most part. But as they said, they didn't lose any light lines. Here's some photos of the neighborhoods itself. And of course, it looks all too familiar. All the trees, all fine and dandy, just standing. Now, some of them are burnt because these houses are pretty tight in there, so it got pretty hot. But if you go back here, like in this field area back here, the trees are all nice and green and the grass ain't burnt. Or if you go in between the houses. I've just seen too much that I just cannot believe any of this stuff anymore. Like this car sitting out on the street, it was so hot, and you can tell that the wind was blowing back this way. It was so hot it still burnt this car up here. I could see this one, maybe, but this one too. I doubt it. I doubt it. You can watch some of the chopper footage and you can see where houses out all by themselves, not in a neighborhood like this, went up in smoke. And the grass in the yard, just like the same stories out of California, grass is not even burned. Now, in these cases, you would expect the grass to definitely be burnt. And in most cases it is, because these houses, like I said, they're packed in here real tight. As you can see, there ain't 10 foot between these two houses. Another photo. I think that's the lake back there in the background. I'm not positive, but there was a lake there where a lot of stuff burned down around. I know some of you are probably having a hard time hearing my voice. This is a photo of, for some reason, one house with every house burnt down all the way around it survived. Like, not even touched. Don't even see any ash on it or in the driveway. Almost looks like it's photoshopped in. Very strange looking photo. All right, guys. I just wanted to bring this to y'all guys' attention. I hope that more and more people are still waking up about this. That'll, not in every case, but we have a couple of different things going on out here. We have something that's related to a natural plasma event where things are burning in areas where there were no fires set, and nothing makes sense as to why an area just in the middle of a field or something is burnt, and then 100 yards away there's another area burnt, and there's no one set the fires, and it's really strange stuff going on. But at the same time, anytime anything like that is going on, they're not going to waste a crisis, because as we have more and more of these plasma type events, we'll see them taking advantage of it as well. Because what? They are the hidden enemy. Yep. All right, guys, I love you, and our Father in heaven loves you too. Hang in there. Don't let the devil in the door. Just say no and walk away. Don't let the devil in. Don't talk to the devil. Don't answer the devil on the phone. And don't engage the beast anywhere you possibly can avoid. I love you. Have a good evening, guys.